Hey kids, I was getting ready to do the kids talk for this week, and I thought I'll just do it here in the office, at my office at the church, at my desk. And as I turned on the camera, I looked behind me and I saw all these books, and I thought, the kids aren't going to pay that much attention to what I'm saying in this setting. They're probably going to be more paying attention to the fact that there's all these books behind me that might distract them. And so it got me thinking. I thought, well, how many books do I have? And as you can see, there are three bookshelves here, one, two, three, and there's a couple shelves down lower as well. But I got to thinking. I thought, okay, how many books are there? So I started counting them. You know how many I came up with? There's almost 500 books. Now the next question is, have I read them all? I've read most of them, or at least some of them I've read parts of, at least. But most of the books I've read, actually, that I own. And I go through every year and I get rid of some of them. And of course, I get new ones every year, too. Um, and you know why books are so important? Now, I know that's a really hard thing to ask a bunch of kids who are like 2 weeks away from the end of school year, because the first thing you're looking forward to is getting away from books so you can just go out and play and do all kinds of fun stuff. But books are pretty important because when people write a book, think about it. If they're going to write a book, they're taking all the knowledge and experiences that they have on a certain topic and putting it into a book. Now, of course, there's different kinds of books. There's books for knowledge and there's books for entertainment, and some do a little bit of both. But to write a book takes a lot of work and understanding language and how to write and how to make sense and for things to flow very well. So behind every book back here, 500 books, there was an author behind it who had a bunch of ideas and was able to put it all down into what we call a book. And then for the person that takes the book and reads it, they have to process, they have to think about all the things that they read in their mind and be able to figure out, what do I agree with? What do I like? What raises even more questions in my life? And what helps me to be able to be a better person as a result? Now, most of my books are nonfiction books. Many of them are about theology. They're about God and the church and different things like that. So a lot of these books help me be a better pastor because I learned things that I could teach others. And that's a cool thing. So when we take books and we learn them, what's in it, it expands our mind and helps us to think about so many new things that we maybe never thought of before. So even though we're putting away our books here in a couple of weeks, I hope that you never stop learning. I hope that you always are investigating and processing things and thinking things through in your mind about how to take all the information that's out there and make it a part of who you are so that you can be who God wants you to be. In the Old Testament, there's a book that's called Ecclesiastes. That's one of the books that's there. It's an old word that means the preacher. And the preacher writes in there and he says, of the making of books, there is no end. Like there are just so many books. And if you go down to the public library or the school library, you see way more books than what I have here. You go into a great big bookstore, they still have a few of those around, and there are just hundreds of thousands of books. And you go online and you can find even more. So lots and lots of books. So anyway, that's ended up being my thought today. I had something else I was going to share. I'll share that next week, but I thought today, let's just talk about books. So there's the books, everybody. All right. Hey, I hope you all are having a good day and a good week, and keep learning, keep reading. Okay. Bye.